Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, March 24th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's gonna open in about 9 minutes. So let me set up this room real quick and then we'll get started with our session for today. There we go. Link is sent out. All right here. It's good. All right, guys, good morning. Today is March 24th, Thursday, 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna finish setting up the room real quick and then we'll get started with our session for today. All right, cool. Looks like people are still making their way in. All right. Good. All right, cool. Let's see who's here. Morning, Peter. Morning, Solo. Morning, Al. Morning, John. Morning, Maria. Morning, David. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Jonathan. Perfect. Thanks, Patricia. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Rashida. Morning, everybody. So let's get started with marking up the liquidity for this morning. Thanks, Patricia, for the little update. Looks like there might be some risk of some sort of nuclear war popping off at some point. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the market. You know, obviously tensions are high with Russia and whatnot, but you know, if we do go into a nuclear war, this is going to get pretty crazy. Price might be dropping pretty heavy today, but who knows? I mean, let's see. Let's take an overall analysis of the market first, and then we'll decide whether we think, you know, price will be dropping or whether it'll go up. So, morning, Marlon. Morning, Steven. Morning, Saren. Morning, Sam. Morning, Kenneth. Morning, Matt. Morning, everybody. People are still making their way in, so I'll keep moving people into the room, and I'll keep also setting up these areas of liquidity. It's 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So we do have some time, but I want to make sure I get all the liquidity on the chart before market open. So I think that's it for now. Yeah, well, that wasn't so bad. Market's been super choppy though. As you can see right here, it's been super choppy all throughout the morning right here. And price is in a hard consolidation right now. So let me get this on the clean chart as well. Shouldn't be too bad. All right. Looks good. He's down here now. All right. Most part, that looks good. Morning, David. Morning, Mauricio. Morning, Dell. Morning, Jace. Morning, Brenda. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Mauricio. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I just saw Mauricio said U.S. to sanction over 300 Russian elites and block Russian banks and Russian central bank gold. Yeah, I mean, tensions are getting higher, obviously, with all the sanctions coming in. We'll see how that affects the market. Obviously, you can see the market's not really doing much right now. It's kind of just going sideways. Let's take a look at the news real quick. Just want to make sure there wasn't any news this morning. There was news at 5. Oh, actually, no, it was yesterday. Today there was news at 5:30. 5:30, 6:10, 6:45. All right, so let's do 5:30, 6:10, 5:30 and 6:10 first. All right, so 5:30 was right here. 6:10 was right there. We have news at 6:45 and 7:30. 6:45 and 7:30, right? Yep, looks like we're good. All right, so let me go over here again real quick to the clean chart. I'll mark that up as well. Market's gonna open in about 3 minutes, so let me just get everything all set up, and then we'll get moving with the analysis for today. 5:30 and 6:10. So 5:30 and 6:10. All right. So that's good right there. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. All right, so let's check out the market real quick. It's 6:28 right now, so let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 52% short, so we might be looking for some buys today. This shifts. Right now, it's not really much of a bias because it's at 52%. It's right down the middle. So retail sentiment's not going to be much of a use for us today. We're going to be looking at fundamentals, which are currently 112 points in the green. It's not very strong. It's easily going to be shifted, below 100 or above 100. So there's really no bias right now with regard to retail sentiment and fundamentals. Worse than that, looking over at the charts, price isn't even moving. It's literally going sideways. So overall, there's no bias. There's no bias for retail sentiment. There's no bias for fundamentals. There's no bias for technicals. There's really no bias at all. So, what we want to do right now is we want to be very careful with entering any trade. So, Steven, I know you're usually looking for the breakout. I will mark up the breakout, but today's one of those days where I probably don't recommend it at all, even as a risky trade, because there's no bias at all. Price can literally go in either direction because there's no retail sentiment bias. There's no fundamental bias. There's no technical bias. There's no bias at all. So nothing's pointing in any direction. You can see right here from the technicals, price is literally going sideways and the trend meter is blue. So there's no bias here whatsoever on any of the confluences that we look at. Morning, Miles. Morning, Lisa. Rick said, ain't no way, Steven, we'll sit it out. Professor's asking, what's with the two spikes? There's like news that happened this morning, Professor. There's news right here at 5:30, news here at 6:10. So also NATO's talking about the sanctions on Russia that could lead to nuclear strikes. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the markets, mostly due to the war. But I mean, who knows, right? There can be a lot of things in the market that can be affecting it, but definitely the war is going to be one of the big ones. All right, so price is dropping right here. Price ends up closing with a strong red candle. They're also having a hearing right now in the Senate for our new Supreme Court justice. There's this. Let's see what the fundamentals are looking like. So fundamentals right now are currently 109 points in the green. So it is a bit bullish, but not very strong. It's only 109 points. It needs to be consistently above 100 points, either in the red or the green. So right here, no entry off this. The momentum currently is a bullish momentum because we have this buy signal right here. So what we're looking for is a strong green candle or a red candle or strong red candle with a momentum signal. And there goes opening price right there. All right, so let's see how this plays out, we need to have either a strong green candle or a strong red candle with a sell momentum signal. So we'll see how this closes here. If this ends up closing, this will be the breakout right here for a sell. Again, this is one that I don't recommend because there's no bias in the market with regard to retail sentiment or to fundamentals. So it's really hard to really choose which direction to be trading in, because you can get a really strong whipsaw, in both directions if it doesn't end up playing out. So this will be the breakout right here. But again, another reminder and warning that I don't think this is a good trade. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to take a speculative move on this because it's just too risky. So I'll be watching it. If I want to take a speculative move, I'll let you guys know, but I don't think I'm going to take it because there's just no confirmation right now. I mean, looking over here at the fundamentals are bullish. Retail sentiment it's right down the middle, it's 52%. So it's not really strong at all. So I don't think this is a good trade. Or anything to really play with at all right now. See how far it drops right here. Let's see if it drops further. But I do think it's probably gonna be bearish because, just like David said, NADA is talking about more sanctions against Russia. If it pulls back and drops further, I'm probably gonna enter for like a lot, like 100 pips or something. So this is what I'm going to do. If it drops back again lower, I'm going to catch it for 100 pips. So if it breaks below that low, it's going for a quick little push right here. Not a big push, but a little push. Because it's pretty far down. I think it's going to hit TP. So if it hits TP, I'm going to set a sell stop right there. Right at this low right here. So if price drops below this point, I will catch it for a low drop. Because it's dropped below this liquidity. It's probably going to retrace up a little bit and then drop lower. So I'm going to see if I can catch this. Right, Sid. No way I'll sit it out. Yeah, Sam said there's tons of liquidity from last night. All right, I'm in the position. Let's see if it hits my TP. Oh, that was quick. I don't know if it entered me early, but it already hit my TP. I don't know how. Okay, there you go. It would have hit anyways. So here we go. A little speculative trade right here. Like I told you guys, if it came below that line, I was going to enter a sell stop, which I did. I had it pending. I made about 1,200 off that trade. I was really fast. What a move, man. I wasn't even expecting it to drop that fast, but I did anticipate it to drop because made 1,270. So I made 1,235 on my main account, 1,135 on my copier, 1,080 on my MFF, 1,080 on my other MFF, 1,060 on my TFF. So yeah, I mean, that was nice. Can't complain. It was a good little move right there. But no official trade at that point. I mean, technically, if you wanted to consider that breakout an official trade, I did mark up the breakout. I did say it was risky though, so obviously it's not going to count as an official trade. But I mean, if you wanted to take it, I did mark it up. I explained why it was a trade. However, there was just no strong bias in that, in that direction for me to have full confidence in taking the move. One of the main things that was really pushing me towards taking the sell is the fact that, we might be on the brink of a nuclear war. If we're on the brink of a nuclear war, prices for sure going to be dumping. Me and Patricia talked about that right before the live. So, she sent me this right here. She said, US NATO preparing for risks of Russian nuclear incident. So she sent me this right before the live. We talked about it. I was like, okay, price probably going to drop. So another reason why I thought that it would have been feasible to, possibly take the sell. So not that our bias is for a sell just yet. There's no confirmation yet of it, but our bias might be a sell today. So let me just finish taking screenshots of my profits, and then we'll continue looking for any more trades here. But it played out perfectly. Like if you guys listen to my analysis, I mentioned the price was going to drop below that line. I would set a sell stop. It triggered my sell stop and went straight to my TP. So played out real nice. All right. Other than that, I think we're good for the most part. All right. So let me see if there's anything else here. Let me see what you guys are talking about in the group. So let's see. Steven said, goal reach, full TP. Thanks, Sean, for helping me with the breakout. Yeah, definitely, Steven. I'm glad to see that you took it. You know, Steven, this is the only trade Steven takes. Steven has been on fire. So Steven, if you want to send me your profits, that'd be great. But Steven man, Steven's a new man. This guy is killing it every day with us. All he does is take a breakout. This dude must have passed like 5 challenges by now. Just taking the breakout. The only trade he takes, the breakout, and then maybe 1 or 2 variations if we do have any, while he hangs on the live. Let's see. Nick said, I think there will be. Yeah, definitely, Steven. We'll see you tomorrow. Steven said, I think there will be, or Nick said, I think there will be an overextended. They will overextended the sell, the pull the retail side short, then come back up. Yeah, no, it could. I see the market being manipulated right here. This is why I'm not really chasing any other sells at this point. Price might be pushing up, and then we want to see the confirmation of it dropping further, right? That's really what we're looking for here. I think the main thing to look for here is whether price closes below this low. Because if it closes below this low, it's probably going to continue dropping. We didn't really have a strong retest of the liquidity up here. We just have price dropping further. One thing that you want to keep an eye on, though, is that we have news right here at 6:45. So that's something for you guys to be careful for. You know, I always try to make sure that you guys are as careful as possible. Some people listen, some people don't. But there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Anyways, let me show you guys my profits for that little trade, just to show you guys that, you know, I actually did take it. I don't just tell you guys I'm going to take a trade and I don't take it. I actually do take it. So right here, I set that sell stop. It hit my TP super quick, ended up locking 1,270 off my main account. My copy right here locked in a total of 1,170. My MFF locked in a total of 1,080. My other MFF 1,080 as well. And then my TFF locked in a total of 1,060. So across all my accounts right here, just one speculative trade for 100 pips. That's how much profit I locked in. So hopefully you guys locked in some, you know, decent profit as well. John's asking, how are you setting your TP when taking a sell stop? You just subtracted by 10 points. So like if my entry point was, I don't know, what was my entry point here? If my entry point was 34,434.25. I just changed that number by 10. So instead of 34, I put 24, but there was some slippage. No, when you set a pending order, John, you can set a TP already. You set a TP and a stop loss. So when you set your pending order, that you set a TP and a stop loss at the same time. It's all in one go. So for me, I set the sell stop at that low, and then I just subtracted by 1, you know, the number before the last number, and then I add 3 to the last second to the last number as well. So I mean, it's not difficult. You just add and subtract 10, 30. I usually use a 30 stop loss because I don't want it to be too wide. But my TP sometimes there's slippage and it ends up closing after it. That's why I went a little bit higher. My MFF wasn't as high, but FTMO was a bit higher. Nice profit off that partial KT US30. Breakout scalp live. Yeah, so yeah, I do manually, but it's all done in one shot. Nice. Nick said up 4K on my phase 200K FTMO. You're almost done, Nick. You just need 1,000 more and you're going to be funded. So big congrats to a lot of you guys here. We have a lot of people who got funded here in K2 this week. Well, this month in general. So just one more trade, Nick, and you're good. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here killing it. You know, the more and more you listen, it seems like you're starting to listen, Nick, because the more and more you guys listen, the better you guys do, right? I think Nick, you don't trade as much during Asia anymore. You don't take any like random trades. So you're doing actually pretty good. And you're letting the trades run to TP. So, and I've seen a lot of improvement from you. So great work. So some profits here that people have sent in. So Nick over here, he locked in a total of 277. Nice work right there, Nick. Kenny over here locked in a total of 1,422. Nice work, Kenny. And Jamie over here locked in a total of 552. So great work right there too, Jamie. Anyways, looking at the chart right here, guys, you can see prices pushing back up, just like we anticipated. This is why I told you guys never to chase a trade. Wait for a confirmation of a bias, right? So right here, price is pushing right back up. It might come up and test the opening price. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up and tests the opening price or news price up here. And then it'll either, continue up or it'll come right back down. So a couple of things that can happen right there. However, we do have news coming up at 6:45. So in 2 minutes, we have news coming up right here. So I'd be careful. I wouldn't enter any trades at this moment. And just see what happens. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I think there's a couple other profits that were sent in over here as well. So over here, Nick, 200 bucks. Kenny, 1,400. Andreas over here locked in a total of 550 euros. Nice work, Andreas. We got Solo over here. Solo locked in a total of 830. Nice work, Solo. Janae over here locked in a total of 98, basically 100 if we round that up. So nice work, Janae. And then we got Professor over here with a total of 4,914. So Professor actually held on to that sell, or he maybe entered it earlier. And then he it looks like you caught the whole breakout actually. Professor, wow. So you almost got 5,000. So it looks like you held the breakout for the full move and held it even longer. So great work right there, Professor. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Deswell is asking me who is TFF. Let's see if I can get this for you right here. All right, cool. So I got that sent in. Let me go to my copy real quick. Turn off a couple accounts. So I might take it easy the rest of the day with my other accounts. I'm turning off my copier off of my MFF accounts. Seems like there might be a wider spread or some slippage because I made less profit on there. With today being a bit risky, I'm turning off my MFF accounts. I'm just using my FTMO and my TFF. So news was positive. Thanks, Peter, for that. And let me also take a screenshot of this right here. All right, solid. So there are my profits for the day, for the week, and for the month so far. I don't think today's gonna be a bit risky, so I turned off my MFFs. You can see right here the profits are smaller. I don't know if there's maybe wider spread on MFF right now or some more slippage, but yeah, profit so far on all my accounts. I just turned off my copier on there. Just want to be safer today, so I'm good. All right, other than that, Yeah, Nick said, yeah, there was quite a bit of slip. It should have had 500. Yeah, no, definitely. Professor said, following your lead, and Steven the breakout Kings lead. Definitely. Thanks, Peter, for the news update. News update right here. It was positive news. So let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, right here on Thursday at 6:45. It was positive news. With positive news, price kind of faked out to the bottom and then it pushed right back up. So I'm going to mark this up as news right here. Color that pink. Same with this right here. News. And I got to update these high lows here as well. Price is already broken below here. All right, so looks good right there. Looks like price is probably gonna keep ranging around where news price is right here. Going over to this chart again. See, things are getting, things are still just moving around. So not really too much going on right here. You can see prices basically just going sideways at this point. We don't have a confirmation whether we have a bullish or bearish bias. Looking over here at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 52% short. Not much has changed. It's still at the same point. Looking over at the fundamentals, it's currently 76 points in the green. So it's not above 100. It's not below 100. There's no strong bias in either category for fundamentals or for retail sentiment. So with that said, it's gonna be tough for us to really choose a direction because there's no direction set. Right now, everything's split down the middle, half green, half red, right? There's no clear direction at all. Refreshing the news over here, everything's still positive, but it's not very strong. So the Dow's up 72 points, S&P's up 18 points, NASDAQ's up 50 points, Russell 2K's up 6 points, VIX is currently down less than a point. It's probably gonna go bullish soon. So this is obviously going to affect the markets. As BlackRock's Larry Fink, who oversees 10 trillion, says Russia-Ukraine war is ending globalization because there's so much stuff going on around the world. It's not helping with globalization, right? So we also have the Supreme Court hearing right here as well for nomination Ketanji Brown. I'm going to close that. We know what's going on, so it's not a huge deal. It's going to happen regardless. Some updates here regarding the war. It says NATO calls on China to join the rest of the world and clearly condemn the brutal war. So this is going to be key right here because if China doesn't join the rest of the world, China is picking sides with Russia, right? And if that happens, this can turn into World War III. So just keep that in mind. Little things like that can affect the market super heavily. If World War III happens, it's going to be a pretty bad war. Well, we'll see. This just happened about 8 minutes ago. So we'll see how China responds to that. Zelensky is calling on NATO for more swift military support. The war is not getting any better. The US set to announce plans to welcome up to 100,000 Ukrainians. There's just a lot of stuff here. That's crazy. It said Russia's market partially reopens after a month-long shutdown. That's crazy how the Russian stock market's closed. Imagine that if the market was closed here, what would we do? We'd be chilling. All right, so the high here just keeps getting pushed higher. Let me see what else we got over here. Kenny said, hey, Sean, check your Telegram mail. Oh, is he speaking right now? Thanks, Kenny. I didn't even know Biden was speaking today. I just started 3 minutes ago. All right, guys. So everyone's favorite person, Biden, here is going to be speaking shortly. Why does he walk like that? This dude walks. Well, he's old, so I guess so he walks like that. But yeah, Biden's about to speak right now. All right, so I'll keep that open. Thanks, Kenny. I had no idea he was speaking today. All right, so you might see price drop when he starts speaking. And a little bit. Nick said Biden's a clone. Stern said back to open price, Rick. Yeah, Rick, where's your oh man, I forgot to put the horns out for the breakout again today. My bad, Steven. We'll do that tomorrow. Anyways, price is back at open right here. Let's see if it ends up closing above it or if it ends up spiking right back down. It might even come up, test the news price right here. There's just a lot of areas here where you wouldn't want to trade. There's a lot of news price, opening price, sessions. There's just a lot of stuff going on around this whole area over here where, you know, obviously you don't want to be taking any trade. So price did close above news price. Let's see what happens right here. Price might bounce off this news price. I mean, this just looks like a late reaction to the news here because the news was positive. It was medium impact news. Let me see the news again. It was for flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. So with that said, if it was bullish or positive, I would expect the market to be bullish anyway. So it's hitting liquidity right here. But there's a lot of areas of rejection. So check this whole area right here. We have the sessions and we have the news price. Look where price is wicking right off of. It's wicking right off of the news price and off liquidity right here. So, I mean, it's no surprise that that was going to happen. You know, like I mentioned, there's a lot of areas where rejection may happen around this area. But I still wouldn't take any trades around here. Like if I want to take some sells, I'm going to wait for price to close below here, retest news price, and confirm. If this happens, then I'm definitely looking for sells. Vice versa, in order for me to take buys, I need price to close above here, retest the sessions, and continue up. Until price is above here, below here, I'm not going to have a bias for either direction, right? Because there's too many areas of rejection right here. A huge area of manipulation where you can easily get stopped out if price ends up spiking one way or the other. So you can expect price to spike pretty heavily around these areas right here. The price pushed up to here, it dropped down. It's not a huge spike, but I mean, it's big enough to stop someone out if your stop loss was too tight. So if your stop loss was 500 pips, you probably would have been stopped out here because you would have to cover the spread. It dropped about, you know, about 500 pips there. So I would sit tight, guys. Just sit tight and wait for a better confirmation here, because there's just no confirmation with any direction still. I mean, if you look at the fundamentals, they're still right down the middle. Retail sentiment's going nowhere. It's a little bit at 52%, 53% now. So, I mean, it's increasing slightly, but not really. Also, a lot of people might be taking trades because Biden is planned to speak. So Biden hasn't spoken yet. He's still greeting everybody. Or I don't know if he already spoke. Yeah, I have no idea if he spoke already. But you can see right here where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting right off the news price right here. So sit tight and wait for some sort of confirmation. Let me see. Side message, Kenny. Nick said, I wouldn't say I'm the king of anything, but Nick said, you're my king, Rick. Right. Yeah, risky Rick over here. Yeah, once Rick gets his riskiness down to a science, he's going to start teaching his risky strategy back to opening price. Anyways, so there's not really much going on right now, guys. Price did come back to opening price. However, there's a whole lot of areas of rejection. So we have news price over here. You can see these candles right here are failing to break and close above it. They're breaking above it, but they're not closing. So you can see this candle right here, first wick, 2 wick, 3 wick, maybe 4th wick, 4 different tests of these areas here, but total failure to, you know, close above. Same with down below here. We have price attempting to break and close below this news price and opening price, but it hasn't been able to do so. So price right now currently is just really ranging within this area right here between this news price and this news price, or this opening price, however wide range you want to have. But that's pretty much what's going on right here. You don't want to trade when price is ranging like this. If you guys sat in on the mentoring session yesterday, I explained to Aaron that when price starts to range like this is where you look for the bias, because price is going to have to break out one way or the other, right? So when it does break out, you can confirm because it'll break out above, come back for the retest, and continue pushing. If this happens, we'll have a bullish bias. Vice versa, if price ends up breaking below here and retests and drops, then we'll have a bearish bias. So it's just a matter of patience and waiting for a bias to present itself. And then you can start looking for trades in that direction. So yeah, just a matter of waiting for this stuff to actually play out. Zachary said 10-minute daily. So there is a 10-minute daily right here. Zachary, the only problem with this is the same situation that we have on the other time frame. So even if it does close right there, there's still sessions right here, right? So it might bounce right off it. If this does close as a daily, I probably wouldn't take it because overall I do have a bearish bias, mainly because of the nuclear war talk, and then also because of Biden, because Biden is speaking right now. Or is this just a rewind of the same thing that keeps happening over and over again? I don't think this is actually happening right now. Because he's just walking in circles. Kenny, where'd you get this link from? Because I don't think Biden is live right now. It would have been on the yeah, because Biden's at the NATO summit. He's not even at the G7 meeting. I don't know where you got that link from, Kenny. I think that was an old link. The G7 meeting isn't even, it was like yeah, I know, but where did you find it? Because the G7 meeting isn't today. That's why I was kind of confused, because the G7 meeting was like yesterday. Not yesterday, last month. So that link that you posted up, I think that's an old link. It's just looping, because the G7 meeting happens like at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. So there's no G7. The G7 meeting was right here. It was on February 24th. It was a month ago when that happened. I don't know. Let me go check. But he was walking in a circle. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it happened already and I just missed it, but maybe the G7 meeting is today. Let me check the calendar real quick. Yeah, I don't see anything on the calendar for the G7 meeting. I don't know. That's weird. I think the G7 meeting is, because I know it happens every couple months. The last G7 meeting was on February of last year. Well, whatever. We'll just set that aside, and we'll just move along. But I think he's done. If he was speaking, he's done speaking. But I don't know if that was like today or some other day. Yeah, but no, thanks for showing us to us. It's better that we were careful about that Biden possibly could have been speaking rather than us not knowing at all. So no, thanks for the link, Kenny. But I think that was well, either way, he's done speaking. So back to usual business here. Yeah, David said there's an emergency meeting at Brussels, NATO. Yeah, no, I see that as well, David. It's all going to be based off the whole nuclear threats that Russia's making. So we'll see where that goes. Anyways, looking at price, it's not really doing much. It's still within the same range that we were looking at earlier. Price just bouncing around this news price and this news price down here. There we go, that bullish push. It's rejecting off. Oh, it's breaking right through it. So if it breaks right through it and closes, then we can probably expect it to come back and retrace, or it might not even close above it. Came back right there, rejected off the sessions, and it might be coming right back down. So what we were looking for here is we were looking for price to close above these sessions here so that we can confirm our bias for bullish buy, so we can start looking for some buys. But yeah, I mean, right now there's nothing for us to really look at. All right, so liquidity here got hit. I'm just going to take off this liquidity. It's not really useful because we do have the sessions here already. There we go, cleans it up a whole lot. So here we go with price attempting to close above it again. You can see where this candle right here rejected from, right off these two sessions, the Asia high and the London low. There you go, this price pushes above. This is fine if it pushes above. We want it to close above here so that we can get that retest. And then we can continue riding it to the upside higher. All right, got about 8 seconds left on here to see if this closes. And it's closed. So what we're looking for now is we're looking for the retest. I don't recommend anyone chase this bullish push right here. It is hitting liquidity, so it might come right back down after it's done hitting liquidity. And that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for it to retrace down and continue on upwards. Yeah, no, it was tough. This was a high-low scalp right here, just like CT said, but you know, it was right through the session. So it's kind of, or this one right here, actually, there's actually two high lows here that got past CT. There was one right here, but it was right at the sessions. And then there was another one right here, which was at this sessions right here. So there's two high lows that could have been entered. This one right here, breaking this high low, and then over these sessions right here as well, another high low. There's, as you guys can see, there's entries that are coming up. However, they're just in risky points, so I wouldn't take them. Like these are all high-low entries that could have been taken if you were just going for the high lows. But you know, obviously, I'm not looking for risky trades here. I'm looking for you know, actual official entries that are clear and in the direction of bias. Right now, we don't really have a bias. Price just pushed up. We need a confirmation that it's actually going to keep pushing up and that it's not just going to pull right back to the sessions where it was earlier. Saw your message, Rick. All right. So yeah, what Charles mentioned right now, there's a V3 here for a sell. However, it's not one that I'd be looking to take because, as I mentioned before, we're looking for a confirmation of the bias. Also, stop loss is too tight. It's only 210 pips. So not really feasible, especially with, let me see what the spread looks like right now. Spread is currently at 110. So yeah, I mean, not horrible, but could be better. All right, anyways, we're still confirming the bullish bias that hasn't happened yet. All right, so basically what we're looking for at this point now, guys, is we're looking for price to close above this high right here. But we needed to pull back a little more. It hasn't pulled back far enough yet, I don't think. But it looks like our fundamentals are now going to be bullish. So they're currently up 186 points. So the fundamentals here are bullish. Retail sentiment here is somewhat short. So it looks like our bias today might be bullish. I mean, we'll see once we get these confirmations in, but we haven't had them confirmed just yet. So just looking at this over here, we'll keep following it and we'll see where it goes from here. But we're definitely looking for it to come back and retest this area before it confirms the, obviously the bullish bias. So let me go back to the chat over here again. I didn't look at everyone's profits from earlier. So Jay over here locked in. He said, passed my dad's FTMO yesterday in 1 day, currently waiting on my 100K phase 2. Jay just locked in a total of 2,605. So you got Jay over there again with those trucker profits. We got Dell over here as well. Looks like he had a couple accidents over here. Made it right back on these 2 trades earlier with that buy that we took. Locked in a total of 373. Nice work, Dell. Going down over here, we got Maddie with a total of 6,545 for the day. So nice work right there, Maddie. All wins, no losses. His other accounts over here as well. $3 on this account. Looks like he took some speculative trades off this trade, off these 2 accounts, and then his other account locked in a total of 96. So nice work, Maddie, off both those accounts right there. David over here as well, locked in a total of 44 off his funded account. Nice work, David. Then we got Charles over here, locked in a total of 116 off this account. Nice work, Charles. His other account, 115. So as you guys can see, you don't have to make huge profits. Like, you guys can be trading on a smaller account and still be very profitable. So big account, small account, doesn't matter. Profit's profit. Other than that, let's see. So that looks good right there. Nelly over here sent in his profits as well. Nelly locked in a total of 872 off that trade earlier. So nice work right there, Nelly. That was off the speculative sell we took this morning. Valentine over here as well, locked in a total of 2,266. Nice work, Valentine. You guys are killing it today. I mean, this whole week's been great. Steven over here just took the breakout like he does every day, locked in a total of 1,341. So nice work right there, Steven. And Steven's killing it. If you look at Steven's profits, he's very consistent. 1,300 here, 800 there, 800 there. And these are all different days. Very consistent across the board. So that's just for this week. It's only been, I think he's only traded, he didn't wake up on Monday. He woke up late. So he only took 3 trades this week, all wins, or 3 profitable days, 1,300 today, 800 on, I think, Wednesday, and then 800 on Tuesday. He didn't take any trades on Monday because he woke up late. But yeah, no, great work right there, Steven. Rashido here as well, up 595. All wins, no losses off that breakout we took this morning. So great work right there as well, Rashida. And you guys are all on fire today. Glad to see a lot of these profits pulling in. Rami over here as well. Rami's currently up 176 for the day. So all around great work, guys. Nico over here as well. Nico currently up 13K. Nice work, Nico. Other than that, all right, so price is now just ranging within this area. There's literally nothing happening at this point. Price is just going sideways, and kind of what we're looking for is for price to break and close above. But I mean, even in that case, it still wouldn't confirm because we never had the pullback. So at this point, price kind of pushed up and then it just started consolidating. It never really pulled back. So even if we were to get price to break and close above here, I wouldn't take the trade because price is literally just going sideways. If price does break and close above here, so say price going sideways, if and when it does break and close above it, we would want to wait for a retracement, retest, and confirm above. That's kind of what we're looking for. If it just closes above it, I'm not going to be taking it just like that. As price drops below here, it looks like it's going to establish a low. If it establishes a low, it'll be clear to see this range right here. So if this does close right there, well, it might drop lower actually. So right here, you can see that there's now currently some sort of range, but I think price will drop lower because there's no low that was established at this point. There has to be a low before it continues, right? So I do think price will drop lower. No, that's like one thing that I started to notice as well. Like if a low hasn't been established, it's probably going to keep dropping. So maybe that's something that we can create as a strategy as well. Because the thing is, that's one thing that I started to notice a lot more recently. I continue to create strategies with you guys here on the live, just when I start to see patterns. But you can see there's no low here that's established, right? So I do expect price to drop lower because in order for it to create a low, it needs to drop below this point, right? It might not happen right now, but I think eventually at some point it's going to drop right back down, at least lower than this price point right here to create the next low. Because we have a high. The thing that you guys got to remember is that these can't overlap, right? There has to be a high, there needs to be a low. So there's a high here and there's still no low. So I do expect price to come down to some extent. Anyways, let's see. Barack said, it seems I'm missing out on my first trade, always on the speculative. Yeah, I'm not sure if morning, Barack. I'm not sure if you're because I know you have to get into the office. You might be missing the breakout every morning because the speculative entry always comes like around the breakout. Some people take the full breakout, some people don't. Like for me, I only took like 100 pips of it. That's why I locked in, 1,000 right here. But someone like Professor over here actually caught the full move. So Professor actually. Right here, you can see he made, nearly 5,000. So some people take the full move, some people take partials. I personally, if I'm confident, I'll take the full move. If not, then I'm going to take the partial. Because realistically, you guys just got to figure out what you need, right? Not everyone needs to go for those full profits, or no one needs to go for the full moves, especially if it's if it's a risky entry. So other than that, and what's up, Sisu? Sisu said he just woke up. Yeah, we caught, some people caught the breakout today. I didn't catch it myself, but I did catch some of it. Other than that, Cern over here sent his profits locked in a total of 615 euros for the day. Nice work, Cern. All right. So looks good here. Nothing really going on. As you can see from this point, price is creating an area of liquidity right here, which is fine. So yeah, you guys can see right here, nice area of liquidity that has created around that area. All right, so the daily entry is running right now. However, as I mentioned earlier, guys, I think this is a risky move because there still is no bias that's been set, but I will mark it up here. So the daily is currently running, but I don't see anything else on any other time frames. Nothing on the 5, nothing on the 3. 10-minute right there it's technically active, but it's not really moving at all. Same with the 1 minute over here. If you look at the 1 minute chart, there's not really much going on. The range got pushed up a little higher, but it's kind of just going sideways still. It's attempting to push higher, but there still is no confirmation of the break and retest. So if price does close above here, then here, let me just rewind this real quick. I need to see where the other high was prior. Mark this up real quick. Go back. All right, so price actually hasn't even closed above this point yet. So the old high from earlier, price is barely, pushing above it. It's pushed above it over here, but it's failed to close. Looks like this one will close. So I'll leave this up shortly. It's closed now. We're looking for the retest. So price has broken above it. We're looking for the retest of this right here and continue to push the upside. That's what we're looking for. So here comes a retest possibly. But if it doesn't retest and it ends up closing below, it's probably going to go back into this range. So we'll see if it fails. If it fails, then I'm just going to delete the high, and then it's just going to go back into the range basically. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. Let's see where it goes. 5 seconds. And price didn't necessarily close below. It did retest it, but it didn't close below. So we'll keep watching for this here. What I'm looking for now is I'm looking for price to break and close above this point here. If price ends up breaking and closing above there, then we can possibly have room for confirmation of a bullish bias. So let's see what happens. There's not really much volatility though. For me, if you guys look at the market right now, just measure this, there's like no direction. So even if we got a confirmation of a bias, it's moving like less than 100 pips, like measuring the body. And there you go. No confirmation. So it's going right back down to, so like, check this out, guys. It literally just came right back down to where it was earlier. So price was ranging around this area, pushed up a little bit for a fake out, and then it came right back down. It's back to where it was earlier. It's like nothing changed. And here we go, as price starts to drop below. So if you guys remember earlier with my discussion, I mentioned that the low was never established, right? So I did anticipate price to come back down, and look where price is now. If you guys remember earlier, I said, you know, price needs to push below this point here to create a low. And it did push below there. So maybe I could figure out something that we can use to take trades off this, because I do see this pattern happen a lot. If we're anticipating a low to be established and it's not being established. So it did drop pretty nicely right past that area. And, you know, it could have been like a 100 pip move right there. But price is now bouncing off the sessions. All right, so rejection right off the sessions. Let's see. This would technically be a V1 for a buy, but I'm not looking for a buy right now because there's no confirmation of a bullish bias. But technically, this would be a V1 entry if it closes with a double wick rejection. So I'm not going to take this trade, and I mean, it's up to you guys whether you guys feel comfortable with taking a trade like this, but I do think it's going to be a bit risky because you don't have a confirmation off of the bullish bias yet. Also, it's bouncing off the sessions. So yeah, no, definitely. Slorm said off the sessions. Yeah, it's too risky of a move, but you guys can kind of see that that'd be the entry right there. Okay, so the candle closed. This would have been a V1 entry right here. And it already hit CP super quick. So yeah, right there, confirm the high low. We confirm the high low right here. Confirm the candle following this double wick rejection right there. Confirm there's a pending momentum for a buy. There was a pending momentum for a buy, and that would have been the entry for the V1. So as you guys can see, we've been looking at high lows, been looking at V1s, been looking at different strategies. A lot of these strategies are still playing out. It's just, you know, depends on how risky you want to be. I don't like taking risky trades. I only take trades when I'm like pretty confident and sure that the trade will hit. So as you guys can see, it would have hit pretty nicely. Full TP. Yeah, Maddie, definitely. Let's look at the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is now 54% short. Fundamentals are currently very bullish, up 164 points. So looking at fundamentals and retail sentiment, we do have a bullish bias. It's not a very strong one, but it is a bullish bias. So we just need to confirm that price is actually going to continue pushing up. Right now, we don't have that, but we'll see what happens, you know, in the next while or so. See what I got over here. Yeah, and we also have news right here at 7:30. Yeah, you're right. That's where I have that red line marked up. So let me go over here to the clean chart real quick. I'm gonna go and clean this up a bit. It's super messy. All of these areas of liquidity have been broken already, so they're pretty much useless at this point. Mark this high, mark this low, and this low as well. So as you guys can see, it's easier to see here on the clean chart as that's weird. I thought I had news price marked up here. I think news price was at like, or whatever, I already have marked up. So news is coming here at 7:30. Markup 7. 6:30. I'm just trying to show you guys, a markup of like how the market has moved so far today. So yeah, so this is a clean chart. Basically looking at the market right here, market opened at 6:30 right here. You can see the fake out to the bottom side. This is where the breakout happened, came right back up, and now it's in consolidation. So as you can see, with the clean chart, it's a lot easier to see because price is literally going sideways right here. There's been no direction in the past hour or past 30 minutes at least. So there's no direction right here. Price was, it did fake out right here. We caught the sell, made some profit. Price pushed all the way up and now it's back into consolidation. So this is why it's useful to have a clean chart. Like for right here, we have a clean chart, but over here we have the markups, right? It's good to see because on the markups, we can look for entries, but on the clean chart, you can see the bigger picture. Like now that we see prices going sideways, we understand that it's not a good time to take any trades. In order for me to take some trades, I need a bullish or bearish bias, right? I need price to push above here and confirm for me to take buys. Vice versa, I need price to close below here. But when it closes below here, there's gonna be a lot of areas. So price needs to technically close like below here. Retest and confirm. So around this area right here, I'm looking for no trades. I need price to confirm whether it's bullish, whether it's bearish. Once I have that confirmation, I'll look for trades in those directions. Currently right now, there's no direction. Price is just going sideways. Anton said, I keep thinking next week will be better. Next week will be better. And it keeps getting worse and it's getting worse and worse. Consolidation nonstop. Yeah. It's crazy. We usually don't see this much consolidation in the market, right? You guys have been with me long enough to see how the market has changed. The more consistent you guys are with these live sessions, the more that you guys will see that the market changes, right? And the thing is, it's all going to depend on your ability to adapt with the market. If you guys are trading with me here, we adapt with the market every day. We never take any days off. So, even if I'm on vacation on Monday, I was on vacation in SF. I brought my laptop to my hotel room. I traded with you guys. We made a lot of profit on Monday. But we started to see that the market was changing. So as long as you guys are consistent, the main thing here is consistency, guys. If you guys want to make this a full-time thing, you have to be consistent. You can't be taking days off. You can't be slacking off. You have to be on point to understand how the market is moving. But yeah, no, Anton said, but it's good we aren't YOLOing trades. Exactly. And that's the main thing that I try to emphasize for you guys, right? I try to emphasize consistency and discipline. So let me just show you guys my profits for the month so far. So you guys know, like this month hasn't been good for a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people blow counts. I haven't lost one trade for the entire month of March. So for the day so far, this is my profit. This is for the week, and this is for the month, right? It's huge profit right there. And this, you can't fake this right here because the social trader tool, like your copier will count all of your trades. So if you're consistent, you can have profits like this. I haven't lost one trade all month. I've seen a lot of people blow accounts this month because they get too impatient. They start to take risky trades that aren't even there. If you guys just wait for the bias and then look for a trade in that direction, you can catch maybe 1, 2, 3 trades a day. And those profits, obviously add up. Like, I don't have to add this up here, but I mean, you guys can just ballpark it for the month so far. It's not a small number. So the thing with this here too, guys, is that it's all about rinse and repeating, right? It's consistency every month. If you can do this every month and not lose, you can do pretty well. Like, I don't go for the big profits off like one day. I go for long-term profits. Anyways, prices drop below here. It's coming down, retesting this area right here. Which is the news price from, I don't know when it happened, but it's news price from today. So this pink line right here is news price. It's rejecting right off it. It's also rejecting off the sessions. So price broke and closed past the sessions. It's coming back for a retest right here. And then we'll see where it goes from this point. If it retests this point and closes below here, then we can possibly shift to a sell bias. Looking over at the fundamentals, they're still currently up slightly, but they're starting to drop. So it's up 142 points. If it goes below 100 points, there can be a shift in bias. It's just going to be a matter of confirming this. Yeah, no, definitely. Professor said, Sean, thanks for sharing. That really puts things into perspective. You are disciplined and are showing it is quality, not quantity. Very inspiring. Yeah, no, definitely. And that's what I've been trying to tell you guys for like years now, right? A lot of people want to take like 100 trades a day. I only take like 1 or 2 trades a day. But as you can see, the profits do add up if you're using proper risk management and you know what you're doing. So, and I'm stress-free. I mean, you guys see me on these charts every morning in live. I'm never stressed out on these live sessions. I'm just chilling. I'm hanging out with you guys. This is literally just a hangout with us every morning. But on top of that hangout, we're making profits from trading. So it's a win-win for all of us, right? I get to hang out with you guys. We all get paid, and we all get better. So that's the thing with trading, guys. It's always it's a never-ending game. You just keep getting better. The game doesn't get any easier. You just get better at it. Because the one day that you start to think the market has gotten easier is the day that you'll blow your account, because you start to be too cocky and you start to lose your discipline. You just take some random trades. That's I mean, I've seen a lot of people do that, and I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people in K2, right? You guys have seen people in the past, people who used to post huge profits all the time, and where are they now? They're not even trading anymore because they blew their account getting too cocky. And I mean, it sucks. It's the reality of things. Because if you guys have been part of K2 for a while, you guys have seen a lot of people who post really big profits, and then they think they can do everything on their own. They leave K2 and they end up blowing their accounts. You never hear from them again. And it's just, it sucks, but it happens. The thing with me is like, I've never taken a day off. Been going live every day for like 3 years now. All right. So anyways, back to the charts over here. There's nothing for us to look at. Prices in between the sessions right here. So even if I was to get an entry at this point, no entry for me to take because price is right in between the sessions. Even if price was to drop below, I wouldn't take any trades because there's news price right here. And then even below here, there's also opening price. And then again, down here, news price again. So as I just mentioned, just a little while ago, it's all about discipline, guys. If you guys see sessions, news price, opening price, anything of that sort, I would recommend just staying away from the market. Just wait a little bit because price tends to be highly manipulated around these areas. This is where you guys can avoid the riskier trades. Like for example, right here, I'm sure a lot of people got faked out right here as price dropped below and then, pushed above from that point. Jonathan's asking what happened to Isaac. I haven't seen that guy post for a while. Honestly, I don't know. I personally don't know. I mean, anyone could have their assumptions, but I have no idea what happened to Isaac. I mean, Isaac said he wants to go do his own thing. He wanted to open a prop firm, but I mean, I don't know what really happened. Yeah, no, exactly. Jonathan said I was just wondering if he was one of the ones who ended up failing. I mean, you guys know exactly who were the ones before who used to post big profits who are not even around anymore, and you don't hear from them at all. So not to say that Isaac, I don't know what Isaac's doing, but there's other people before him who were doing that as well, and they like I know for a fact they blew their accounts. Isaac for sure, yeah. Like what Fahad said, Isaac probably got tired of people complaining about his post. So that's one of the reasons why Isaac left. He left because people would always complain about his posts and his profits. I don't know if he's still trading or not. He probably is, but I mean, I don't know any details, but that's the main reason why he stopped. Like he said he was going to still stay in K2 and be in the background, but I don't really see him in the group anymore. Like I don't see him here on the lives because he was here for a while. And then people would complain. They'd complain because they wanted his strategy, or he basically told them that he was applying the B3, and people would keep bothering him, right? And it would cut into his trades. Yeah, because what happened was people would keep bugging him like for him to teach them what he was doing, and he was like, "Bro, I'm applying the B3," and people just kept like his inbox kept getting blown up. I think there was this one week where he took a loss, but it was because someone kept bugging him, and it just really pissed him off. So he told me that he was going to go behind the scenes, but not post his profits anymore. So yeah, I know. Nick said people are weird. Forex, I don't complain. Tell me it's possible for me to do it. Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, exactly. Anton said faking profits is easy though. Just saying. Yeah, I know. It is. It is easy. That's why I try to be as transparent with you guys as possible myself. That's why I don't really show my profits, but I do show you guys the analysis. I do show you guys the trade, and I do show you guys the profits after all of that, right? I don't just show you guys random profits like, oh, here's my profit for the day. Like, no, I show you like, oh, here's a trade. This is why I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, and then here's my profits after that. Yeah, no, exactly what Anton just said as well. I mean, who knows? You know, I don't know. I don't know certain people that well. You know, Jonathan said, me and my friend checked Fuse Value's trades. They would have been gone into too much drawdown for his account to still be a thing if it was a funded one. And I think my friend called him out, so that's why. Yeah, I mean, possibly, Jonathan. I have no idea. That's why I don't have anything good or bad to say about anybody else, right? And the thing with me is I don't care about anybody else. I care about my own account and my own profits. So I think that's the main thing with a lot of people too. It's like a lot of people just care about they care too much about what other people are doing. And I think that's where I find a lot of my success. I really don't give a shit what anyone else is doing. I just do me, and I do pretty well having focus on myself. So yeah, Nick said that's like the main thing I teach my kids in life. Yeah, no, that's the key, guys. Because the thing is, you guys can't compare yourself to me, and you guys can compare yourself to like other traders in the group. I feel like a lot of people compare themselves to people that are doing really good in trading, and they think they're not doing good. But everyone's learns at a different pace. Like Maddie, right? Maddie's only been trading for like 6 months. Maddie's super consistent. You guys have seen Maddie's profits here. This dude's locking in like, you know, this much like almost every day. Maddie hasn't been trading for a year yet. I still remember the first day Maddie messaged me, like, when was it? It was like a couple months ago. He was like, hey bro, can you teach me how to trade? And I was like, all right. Yeah, Maddie hit me up like in June or July of last year. All right, so there's technically a V2 running right here, Maria, but you know, as I mentioned, there's no bias set. So you need a bias before you take these trades here. So I mean, technically, yes, this is a V3, but there's no bias here. If you look at the bias here for the requirements, a lot of these confirmations here are opposite of each other. So looking at the fifth requirement here, confirm trading the direction of bias, retail sentiment is currently indicating that you should be looking for some bias slightly because it's 54%. It's not very strong, but it is short. So you definitely want to be looking for some buys if you're using retail sentiment. Looking at fundamentals over here, they're currently bullish. So you kind of want to look for a buy here, right? The bias is technically for a buy. So I wouldn't really look for sells at this point unless prices drop below here. So that is a V3, but it's not one that I would take. It's a V3 and a V2, but I wouldn't take it because it doesn't fit the requirements here for confirming the direction of bias. No, the V2 and V3 are different, Jonathan. For the V3, you're just looking for any candle. For a V2, you're looking for a strong candle. So the main difference here is that the V2 is easier to, or no, the V3 is actually easier because you're just looking for an opposite candle. For the V2, you're looking for a, strong candle. So like, for example, right here, this is a strong candle. So this would be a V2, but it also would be a V3 because you're just looking for an opposite candle. So it looks like this here might have hit TP, it looks like. So this wouldn't fall under V3 because the stop loss is too close. We would need it to be at least 300 pips, but it would fall under a V2 right here, which would have hit full TP. So it would work, although risky. Nice, Tiana actually took it. Rick took it as well. So Tiana and Rick took it. Rick made about $1,000. So nice work right there, guys. So, you know, it's just another reminder, guys, there's a lot of entries that are available here. It just depends on how risky you want to be. I don't want to take any risky trades and I don't want to give you guys any risky trades. But if you guys are familiar with the strategies, you guys can take these trades as you see them. Because there was a V3 right there. The V3 wouldn't have hit. I mean, the V3 wouldn't have qualified because it didn't hit the stop loss requirement, but the V2 here would have hit. See, Anton said 3-minute V3. The only problem with this right here for this 3-minute, Anton, is that it's going to hit the sessions. So it might reject before it even gets to halfway. So so Anton is correct. There is a V3 right here. However, as I mentioned before, there's no bias in the direction for a sell. Also, it's coming close to the sessions right here. So there is a trade there, but I would consider it risky, and I wouldn't. I mean, I personally am not and would not be taking the trade here because price isn't really. It doesn't really have any direction. So until there's some sort of direction in the market, there's not really gonna be much for us to take because prices now, it just created another range. All right, there. Let's see if it closes below here. Yeah, Maddie said it's about to hit a 5-minute demand zone. I would not take sells. Yeah, I agree with you, Maddie. Now I'm sure that demand zone is going to be around this area over here, right? It's where the sessions and yep, exactly. So like Maddie uses supply and demand. This kind of works similar to it, right? So Maddie will identify this area as demand. I identify this area as session. So it's the same thing. It's just, you know, you just use different terms for it. But we're both anticipating a rejection off this point. So Maddie's anticipating a rejection and I'm also anticipating a rejection. So I wouldn't take any sells, you know, at this point right here. Nice. Yeah. Maddie said you guys marked up on the 5-minute. Nice. So Maddie just sent in his profits, locked in a total of 7,772. So, you know, Maddie is an outlier here. Like I know a lot of people have traded for a couple months, even a couple years, and they're not consistent. The thing with Maddie is he listens, right? A lot of people ask me to teach him how to trade, or they come to K2 and they want to learn, but they don't actually learn. They come in with like knowledge that they already have, and then they learn from a different, like what happens is a lot of people come to K2, but they learn trading from someone else. And they think that whatever they learned from that other person was correct, right? Maddie over here had no experience with trading. So he had no other knowledge to fall back on. He just followed what I taught him. And, this is the consistency that Maddie's gotten. Maddie's only been around for like less than half a year, and he's killing it every single day. So if you guys want to get good at trading K2, you guys gotta forget all the bad info that you learn from other people, right? Because I feel like a lot of people come to K2 with a lot of bad info, and it just conflicts, right? A lot of people don't want to listen to what I have to teach, and they end up losing, and then they want to blame K2 even though they're using info from other trading groups or other people that they learn from. It's bad habits, yeah, just like what Cecil said. I'm teaching you guys good habits, so if you guys want to be consistent, you got to get rid of those bad habits and start learning better habits. Yeah, no, definitely. Matt said, great risk management, boss. Thanks for a beautiful analysis. Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here are getting a lot better with your patience and discipline. Rick said, not blowing accounts is boring, LOL. Right. Yeah, no problem, Jonathan. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else over here. Nick said, I love how he just went off. Yeah, all right. So if you guys had any questions over here that I missed, just put your question back in the chat and then I can take a look. It's getting close to 8. So if you guys do have questions, I can answer whatever questions you guys have. If you guys missed the mentoring session yesterday, we covered pretty much all the variations in detail. So if you guys have any problem with the variations, go back and watch the mentoring session from yesterday. I know Aaron asked the question pretty early. So if you go back, you can find it. And we did go over a lot of stuff there. So if you guys don't know where to find that, just go on the YouTube channel right here, go to videos. And then this one right here, K2 mentoring session from yesterday. If you click on this, we went over all of the variation strategies in detail. We also went over confirming bias. So if you guys have issues with understanding how to confirm bias, like when I draw, the break and retest to confirm the direction before taking trades, I went over that in detail yesterday. I went over all the variations. I went over the high-low. I went over a lot of the main stuff that we cover on the live here. So if you guys are still confused about what we're doing, watch the mentoring session yesterday and it'll clear a lot of things up for you. And even if you guys don't have the indicators, you guys can still follow along and you guys can identify trades here and catch them, as they appear. So the knowledge is there. The knowledge, the explanation, everything's there. You just got to put in the work. If you guys want to be a successful trader, you got to put in the work. You can't just pick up the charts one day and be like, okay, I'm like a great trader. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people think, right? It's not an overnight success. All right, so there's a 1 minute scalp pivot entry right here that Nick just mentioned. It's too late for me to enter it, but yes, this is a pivot entry right here. It's not a triple confirmation, it's just a scalp, pivot scalp entry. Right there, it looks like it's going to hit TP. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of entries here that are coming up. So nice work, Nick, on identifying that. However, as I mentioned, there's no bias yet. So that's why I'm not really looking for anything right now. Until we have a bias for a bullish bias or a bearish bias, I'm not looking to hop into anything too risky. I even turned off the copier for my MFF accounts because I don't think this is a safe market to be trading in. Let me check the Ukraine stuff because okay, it says NATO boosts defenses in Europe, says it faced gravest threat to its security in decades. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on in the war, guys. So with this said, this might cause price to come tanking down later today or tomorrow even. So yeah, with NATO over here going on, I mean, the war is not getting any better. If this leads to a nuclear war, and if China doesn't side with the rest of the world and they join Russia, then this could turn into World War III. So just keep that in mind. So even though we have a bullish bias here somewhat, this can easily shift at any moment if something crazy happens in the market or something crazy happens in the war. But here goes the pivot scalp. It did hit full TP, so nice work catching that, Nick. I didn't catch it, but if you guys did, great work. Charles said take a speculative sell right now, Rick. All right. My bias is still bullish. If the bias changes to a sell, then yeah, maybe I would take a speculative sell, but I think price may continue pushing up. Just one thing that you want to be careful for is when price does end up dumping, which I think it will eventually, especially if like the war news here keeps progressing, which it probably will. There's no getting around it. So the US is sanctioned over 300. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Other than that, I don't really see anything else here. See, it's 7:47 right now. See if there's anything else here for me to. Rick said, Sean talking me out of it, Charles, sorry. So if you want to take that sell, Rick, I would wait for a confirmation of a bearish bias, right? So I'd probably wait for it to come down a bit, retest, and confirm. If you have this right here, then you can technically enter a sell at some point. Stop loss is like above here. Yeah, somewhere like above there, and then you just let this thing run, right? Because here's the thing, one thing that you guys got to keep in mind is that the mid-market reversal is probably going to play out. There's a lot of liquidity on the bottom. So you can probably ride this down, Rick, like pretty heavy. Or even down to the sessions down here. It's a pretty big move. But I would confirm the bias change first, right? Because you shouldn't be taking any trades unless you have a bias change. But we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, Anton said price is so bullish right now, smaller TF time frame. Yeah, no, Rick said I've been hopping into the market reversal too early lately and been getting killed, and it goes my way. Yeah, that's why you need to wait for the confirmation of bias, Rick. I think if you wait for the confirmation of bias, like what I just showed you, you'll know that it's time to enter. Because the thing is, it's still pretty bullish right now. Obviously, you look at the chart, it's still pretty bullish. Yeah, Kenny said he's good for the day. Let me see. A lot of people sent in their profits. So let's see. We got Patrick over here, or Kenny actually. So Kenny just said he's done for the day. He locked in a total of 1,833 off this account. His second account right here, he locked in a total of 2,324. So as you can see, a lot of people here are taking more trades than me. I only took one trade today, but a lot of people in the group are taking multiple trades because they know the strategies and they're applying entries as they see them, or they're just trading based off my analysis here. Same with Jamie over here. Jamie locked in a total of 750. Great work right there, Jamie. All wins and no losses. So great work with that consistency. Scrolling over here, Patrick over here locked in a total of 4,198. Nice work, Patrick. Got Stern over here too. He said he's done for the day as well. Stern over here locked in a total of 1,446 euros. Amazing work right there, Stern. We got Marlon over here. Marlon with a profit of 30 bucks for the day. Nice work. All wins, no losses. This is what you guys want. You guys want consistency. As long as you guys close out each day with net positive profits. So like Marlon's been super consistent, right? And she's trying to grow this account so that she can increase her lot size probably by the end of the month, if not a month from now. So she's sticking at 3 lots, all wins right here. Amazing work. But she's been consistent, right? You've seen Marlon over here, 20 bucks over here, 100 bucks over here, a couple $100 right there. It's all about consistency, guys. Keep up the consistency, don't lose, and your profits will add up by the end of the week. It'll add up pretty quickly. Maddie over here as well, currently up 8,550. All wins, no losses as well. So nice work right there, Maddie. Other than that, Jenny said the Steven strategy is working. LOL. I take one trade and turn off the computer. I just have to figure out what to do when there's no breakout. LOL. Don't trade or take variations or snipes. Yeah. So Jenny here, she's doing exactly what she's doing. I don't know if Jenny's on here right now, but yeah, Jenny's doing exactly what Steven's doing. She's just taking the breakout in the morning, and she said the Steven strategy is working because she can't find that consistency. So all she does is take the breakout. She just takes the breakout and then she just calls it a day. She'll turn off her computer and that's it. If she continues to do that every day, she should have no problem because one trade a day for a 1-to-1 risk reward with a strategy that has a very high win rate, it'll add up over time. So great work, Jenny. I don't know if you're in here, but great work to you. You're probably not on here because you said you turned off your computer already. Joshua over here locked in a total of 1,445. Nice work, Joshua. And then his other account locked in a total of 657. So great work all around, Josh, for both of your accounts right there. Charles over here as well, currently up 128 off this account. Nice work, Charles. And then his second account right here up 141. So another good day of profits right there. Kenny as well over here, up 1,800 and 2,234. I think I got your profits for that already, Kenny. So I'm not gonna add them a second time. Yeah, I got them right here. So yeah, great work, Kenny. You've been super consistent too. I know me and you have talked about it, and you've been on point. Like your lot sizes are on point. You're using 10 lots just like me. I remember before Kenny was using like 15 lots, and then all of a sudden he blew his account off like one trade. And he was like, what happened? And I was like, you got to change your lot size. So he's been using proper lot sizing here, and he is, doing pretty solid. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. Maria over here as well, locked in a total of 311. Nice work, Maria. All right, back to the charts. Nothing has happened in the past hour or so. Price has just been going sideways right here. So as you can see, this huge range, if you measure time, price has pretty much been ranging for the past 40, 50 minutes now. About like 50, 55 minutes. So in the past hour, nothing's really happened. Price is just ranging around this area. In order for you to take a trade, you need to confirm the bias. There's no bias right now. With regard to technicals, price is literally going sideways. You can see it better here on the clean chart. So here we are with the clean chart. You got this right there, this right there, this right there, and this right there. All right, so this is a lot easier to see on a clean chart. As you can see from this point, there hasn't been much movement. The range is getting tighter. So the range was here. So this was a high, this is low. Now it got tighter, and now it got even more tighter. So at this point, price isn't really doing much, right? It's just going sideways. So in order for you to have a confirmation for a bullish bias, price needs to break above here, retest, and confirm. Then you can take buy entries, vice versa, to confirm the bias on the downside. You gotta wait for price to break and close below. This wouldn't even be enough because there's a news price right there and there's opening price right there. So you'd actually need it to drop pretty far below down here for that bearish bias. And then at this point, you need to confirm it again below here, because there's another news price right there. So it's not looking good for sells, but I mean, eventually I think it'll drop maybe mid-market around 10 or 12, maybe not right now, but later in the market, possibly. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let me scroll up real quick. So yeah, let's see. David said, thanks to K2, this will be my third week. I'll close in profit. So that's amazing, David. David came to K2 with like multiple blown accounts and like one account that was about to be blown. He brought that account literally from like literally going to be blown after one trade to passing, and now he's funded. So amazing work right there, David. Keep up the consistency. Once you have enough money, you can start another funded account, and then you can just copy your trades like I do, and then you'll end up stacking those accounts just like I have. Sam said, question, how come Steven takes multiple entries on breakout at 250 lot? So I ask myself that sometimes too, like, because I always tell Steven to just take one trade and let it run. What he does is he takes micro scalp, well, not micro scalps. He takes like 100 pip scalps. So he has a profit goal of, I don't know exactly how Steven does it. He just tells me he takes many scalps in between. But my thing is that I think what he does is he'll take a scalp, he'll go for like 100 pips. As it pulls back up and retraces, he'll pull back in every time it hits the entry point, and he just catches like 100 pips here and there. Like he'll hit like 1, 2, 3, and then he adds up his profit. So if you look at Steven's profits here, they're about the same. So he'll enter at like entry point, he'll let it run, it pulls back up for retracement, he enters again, because he's scared to take the full move, which is fine. Some people are just scared to take full moves like that, right? Steven found a way to catch his full profit by taking partial moves within the entire breakout. So the way that he does it to feel comfortable and safe, which is how everybody should do it. You should never force a way to trade if you're not comfortable and you don't like trading that way. Steven likes to take partial entries. So, I mean, you kind of see where his entry points are right here. Like he'll take an entry, he'll close out, and then he'll come up, he'll do it again, he'll come up, and he'll do it again. So he basically enters at every point of retracement, and then he locks in about 3 small trades, and then he's done. So maybe that's something that other people can do as well, right? Maybe this is something that you guys can learn from Steven if you guys are too scared to take the big moves, because the breakout is kind of a big move. It's 500 pips. So Steven is only catching like, I don't know, let's see. He's catching like 20 pips or 200 pips each way. So he goes for 200 pips, 200 pips, 200 pips, or maybe even less, 200 pips, 200 pips, 100 pips. So he goes for his full 500, but it's all scattered across, 3 different trades. So he's scaling, just like what Maria said. He's scaling in when he feels comfortable. But I mean, he figured it out, just like Steven, like Sisuk said, which is amazing, because if you guys have been part of K2, you guys know who Steven is. And you guys remember before, a lot of people thought Steven was a troll, but he was just asking a lot of questions because he really wanted to learn. So, don't judge a book by its cover, because a lot of you guys used to think Steven was like the biggest troll, but he's actually a good guy, and he's actually getting this stuff. So, good work for Steven. Yeah, no, exactly. John said, I really believed he was a troll. And Rick said he can be both. Yeah, I know. He said he was going to call Putin, remember, to call off the war so that he can take his breakout, because there was no breakout for like a month, and he really wanted to take a breakout. So he's like, yeah, we got to stop this war so he can catch his breakout right there. Anyways, let me scroll up real quick and see if I missed anything. iPhone's asking, I'm confused. Is 200 or 2000 equal to 20 in TV? I mean, if you're using currency.com, these are in points. So if you have 20 points, that's 200 pips. So, I mean, depends on which broker you're using. We always use currency.com. That's why I think that might be where your confusion is, iPhones, because you're using a different broker. But if you're using the same one that we've been using for years now, that's what we use for the most part. Other than that, let me see if I'm missing anything else. I know you're using FT Mobile. We're talking about TradingView, right? So I don't know where you're getting the 2000 from. Are you talking about the DOM? Because the DOM, you have to include the 0 after the decimal. So that's why it's 2000. Yeah, so I mean, it depends. Like if you're using TradingView, currency.com, this is using points. You're trading in pips. So if you're using pips, you just add a 0 to it. So it's 20 point. Let me just write it down over here. I feel like this is a confusion a lot of people have. So 20 points. Sorry, guys. 20 points equals 200 pips. 200 pips equals 2000. This is the number that comes up, but the thing is you can't put a decimal in the DOM. That's why I'm asking if you're using a DOM, because if you're using DOM, you can't have a decimal there. So you take the decimal off. Damn, look at this market. This is crazy. Yeah, so for the DOM, it's 2000. So does this make sense, iPhone? Just want to make sure you get it, because it's 20 points equals 200 pips. 200 pips equals this in FTM, not just FTMO, but in general on MT4. And then for the DOM, you'd have to put 2000 because you can't count the dot. Perfect. All right. Yeah, no problem, iPhone. Glad I could help you with that. I know there's confusion there, but a lot of people still get confused with like points and pips. Let's see. Fed Bostic is speaking. All right, so I think I'm done. Well, I'm already done. It's already 8 o'clock, so I wouldn't have taken this trade here anyways if there was a trade. But let me refresh this real quick. Is the Fed member speaking right now? Let me check. Read this right here. I guess Fed. I don't see any news here. That happened like right now. But oh, gotcha. Okay. Peter said, okay, Fed member Bostic is speaking right now. So that's probably what's affecting the market. The Fed always has like good stuff to say. So, but damn, look at that wick. Imagine all the people that were just chilling in this trade and got stopped out. This is why I tell you guys never to trade in a range like this, because something like this will happen and you'll blow your account. So, yeah, so it's already 8 o'clock. So if you guys want to continue trading, feel free to continue trading. However, I'm not going to trade. I'm done for the day. I already anticipated market to be a bit crazy. That's why I turned off my MFF copiers. Looking over here, Maddie just sent in his profits, locked in a total of 12,028. So nice work right there, Maddie. He caught that buy right there. He had an entry that triggered it, and then he got a little greedy right here, tried to hop in for another buy, and it pulled back and stopped him out. So nice work right there, Maddie. 12,028 for the day. Wow, that's crazy. Charles here as well, locked in a total of 130. Nice work right there, Charles. And then his other account over here, 146. So nice work right there too. Miles is asking, what lot size do you use on a 1K account? Let me see if I could kind of do the math. Well, are you trading on FTMO or are you trading a personal account, Miles? Because here's the thing, I can't give you the exact number because I don't even know what broker you're using. But if you're using a $1,000 account and you're risking about 3%, you basically want to risk 30 bucks per trade, right? So I don't know what the lot size would be for you, and I don't know what oh, actually, yeah, sorry. Marlon actually asked me that question. So let me go back over here. I'm assuming you're using Hugo's way, right? So for me personally, I use about a 0.3. I mean, it's 0.03. So that's as high as you can go. Use anything around there or below, so that you can build a consistent profit. And then from there, you can increase it. So once you get to like 2K, you can go to like 0.4, 0.5. I mean, it depends on which broker you're using, Miles, but I think that should be fine. If you're using, and thanks, Marlon, for reminding me. I remember we just talked about that. If you're using Hugo's way, which is what I use. I stopped using my personal account though. I'm just sticking to funded accounts because, man, my tax situation was like, it was a nightmare this year. With my personal profits. So I don't really want from last year. I just did my taxes this month. I don't want to have to deal with that next year. So I'm just going to stick with the funded companies, and my profits are just going to funnel into other investments. So I'm not going to be trading my personal account anymore. I'm just trading the funding company because it gets taxed differently. And the problem with Hugo's way is they don't give you like a detailed breakdown of your trades. So like one thing, another person asked me this question about Bitcoin. Someone was trading Bitcoin on their Cash App, and I was trading Bitcoin on my Cash App as well. That was also a nightmare because they don't give you a breakdown of your trades and stuff. So I gave the the uh, the document to my CPA, and he didn't know what to do with it. He was like, "There's no like the information he needed wasn't on there." So yeah, just FYI, I'm not trading my personal account anymore. If I do trade personal, I will be trading on a legitimate broker, like a regulated broker. Probably not going to be Hugo's way, but they are good. So if you want to use them, fine. But if you start making a lot of money on these unregulated brokers, it's going to be an issue with you just got to make sure you document all your trades and stuff like that. So especially if they're longer term holds, that way your CPA will understand how to tax it and make sure that he categorizes it properly. So other than that, guys, it's way past 8. So it's about due for the live session to end. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I don't see any other questions here. We got a couple other profits from Barack. So Barack over here sent in his profits, locked in a total of 1,146. Nice work, Barack. And then Sam over here as well, locked in a total of well over 1,500. So amazing work right there across the entire board here with the whole K2 group. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I don't recommend you guys trading more today. If you guys want to trade, feel free. But I'm going to sit out the market. So if I'm sitting out the market, it's probably not, it's probably a good idea to sit out the market as well. But if you guys do want to trade, make sure to use proper risk management. Don't over leverage, don't over trade. Use a smaller lot size if you don't feel comfortable about the position. But I mean, other than that, I think we'll be done for the day, and I will catch you guys back here tomorrow as we wrap up the trading week. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys